Alright, so since I completely blitzed through the first couple of videos of this, I think I might go through content and pretty things all in one go. So first off, storefront. This means when you get married to one of your 6 marriages with that other mod that I've got, you can have your spouse go into the marketplace of the city that you've put him or her in, and she'll actually open a store and she'll actually sell stuff that you give her to sell, which is pretty cool. It's one of those. It might belong in immersion more than anything. Actually, I should probably move that. Apocalypse just adds 100 spells. They're all really different. I haven't explored it that much. The Civil War overhaul completely changes how the entire Civil War works. Now, I've never actually played the Civil War in Skyrim because I don't like to choose between one or the other. I'll go over this at some point with my big rant about how I hate the Imperials and how I hate the Stormcloaks. But yeah, this apparently completely changes the whole thing, so I'm going to have to pick a side at some point. Oh god. Cutting room floor is basically Bethesda when they're checking the game through. They delete a load of shit and say this area is too cluttered, let's get rid of this cave, or this quest isn't quite rounded enough, let's get rid of this. This cutting room floor puts all of that shit back into Skyrim and touches it up a little bit, so you get a shit ton of extra content to go through. Falskar is an entire new world. You go through this freaky little portal in a dungeon, you turn up in this area called Falskar, there's this little war going on. It's not a civil war, but it almost is. And it gives you loads of quests, loads of NPCs, loads of stuff to do. It's basically a massive expansion for the game. Helgen Reborn gives you this long, tedious quest line to rebuild the entirety of Helgen, that place where you start and you get your head chopped off almost by a dragon. Just a fucking dragon with an axe. Mega Shields just adds 200 new shields to the game. Bathhouses just adds a bathhouse to every city, like a steam room kind of thing. This combos with that Frostfall mod that you freeze to death, so if you go to a cold city like Windhelm, the one with the lake and crap, you can just go straight in a bathhouse and warm up in the sauna and it'll be great. Worm's Tooth, I've never played through again. I'm going to do it on the videos maybe. This adds a massive quest line, another area. It's got something to do with a dragon as far as I know, but I'm excited to figure out what it is. This I got as kind of a joke because I don't know how good it is, but the Skyrim School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, obviously Harry Potter influenced, but it's immersive enough that it doesn't break the fourth wall too much when you're playing along. Real estate. If you've ever played Fable, Fable 2, Fable 3, any of the Fable series, you know how every single building or shop has that little sign in front of it that you can interact with and you can buy their property, you can adjust their rent prices. This lets you do that in Skyrim, so it adds a little signpost outside of every shop so you can buy the shops, so you can become some real estate tycoon millionaire through rentals in Skyrim. Templar set is just one really pretty set of armor, I think. That's the second part of the real estate. If you are downloading real estate, you have to get 2 different files for it and install it separately. It's kind of annoying. This Forgotten City thing is apparently a murder mystery set in an underground city somewhere, and you have to mess around, and it's really moral dilemmas and choices, and you have to figure out who the murderer is, but the murderer might change depending on your playthrough, that kind of thing. They recommend doing it as late as possible because it interacts with the way you've played your story so far in Skyrim. So I will definitely play through it because it's something I've never done, but I'm going to do it a lot later on when my character's pimped out and stuff. Skyrim Knights, this just adds a load of armor sets that are nightly. Stag's Rest is just a house I like. A Vault of Skyrim. So if you're a big fan of the Thieves Guild like I am, this adds a Jarl's Treasury to every castle in the game that you can break into and steal all their gold. It's great. It doesn't actually affect the city or anything, but it gives you a couple of hoops to jump through to get an awesome reward in every city. And this is a Necromancer's house that I really like. There's not much to say about it. Alright, so pretty things. I hope the video hasn't gone on too long. It shouldn't have. It doesn't feel like it's gone on very long. Uniques. This makes all of the individual items Chill Rend, that kind of stuff, Mace of Moloch Bal, it makes them all really pretty and really actually completely different to any other weapon in the game, which is quite good when you've got all of these immersive armors and weapons mods, because there's just so many weapons added, everything looks a bit samey. The Eyes of Beauty just adds 300 eye models that you can adjust for your character. They all look pretty good. Book covers just make book covers pretty. The beautiful bodies just makes the bodies pretty. This is just a really pretty armor set that I like. This makes blood look pretty, this makes the roads look pretty, this makes the loading screens look pretty, this makes the water looks pretty, this makes the windows look pretty, this makes all of the textures look pretty, this makes all the flower textures look pretty. This makes like generic ruin clutter, like rocks on the floor or urns, that kind of crap. It makes that look pretty. I should probably stop saying the word pretty. I'm using it pretty much too much. Radiant Unique Potions makes all of the potions like high definition and you can actually read what they are and they all look different. This makes smoking torches and candles, like, I can't even explain what that does. It just is what it is. This just improves meshes so they look slightly prettier. This makes rugs more detailed, this makes the world map a lot prettier. This adds footprints, so if you run around and you turn around, you'll see little footprints in the snow that you've ran. The horses have footprints, the animals have footprints, and if you have, like, a guard patrol, you'll see the patrolling patterns from where they've walked. If you have like this massive battle with like 5 bandits in a camp covered in snow, after the battle you can look back and there's so many footprints. Beautiful, I love it. This is like a massive high definition texture for just the death bell flower. I don't even know why. This makes all glass, armor, and weapons actually transparent, so you can not like you can see through it and you're naked, but the weapons you can like see through a little bit. They refract, they look a bit prettier. This just adds hair, this makes rocks prettier, this makes snow prettier, this makes the helmets so that, you know when the Skyrim guards approach you and they have like the helmets down to here and you can't see shit? This like removes that, you can actually see their faces when they're speaking to you, which is good with all the guard dialogue overhauls so that you actually need to speak to guards a bit more. Adds hair. This is a humongous overhaul of like seasons and how they work. So the later in the Skyrim year, like the in-game time, you might have a winter time, at which point in the Frostfall mod that gets you cold, you have to like stay indoors more. In the summer, you can go out more. In the spring, there's more flowers. In the autumn, everything's dying, which is really depressing. Project Parallax makes like blur in the background. It makes the lighting different. It makes darkness darker, if that makes sense. So if you're running through a pitch black dungeon, you literally can't see anything. I don't know whether it's going to fuck with my recording because it's going to be a pain in the ass to run around and stuff. And whenever you render videos, it makes stuff darker. So I don't know how badly that's going to affect things. Supreme Storms makes like snowstorms, rainstorms, really hardcore. Like comboing with the Frostfall mod that makes you freeze to death and stuff. You have to go inside if it's like a snowstorm because you will die really quickly. Real Vision adds this like really beautiful motion blur to the background, so like, you know, you have your crosshair, which my iHUD thing makes it just a dot, but whatever you focus on with that, the other stuff gets a little bit blurred, so it's like it's out of focus because you're not looking at it, that kind of thing, and you can like move it to the mountains in the distance and it looks really good. It's hard to explain. All you have to do is watch one video that I'm using it in and you'll see it immediately. Alternative Rock and Mountains, this is just another rock mod. I have 2 rock mods, that's way too many rocks. Wonders of Weather, this adds like rainbows, shooting stars, that kind of stuff, just make things nice. This is like a hardcore fog mod, so if you ever go to a place when it's foggy, you literally can't see in front of your own fucking face. It's like really annoying actually. Yeah, that's pretty much the fog mod. And this just makes the performance of ENB files work better. And ENB is like, it's hard to explain, but it's a bit more intense than a normal Skyrim mod because it actually messes with loads of graphical stuff. But yeah, that's all of the pretty things and all of the content, and that pretty much summarizes all of the Skyrim mods I've got. So there you go.